you, son? He been good to you? Y'all been good to me too. Right. All praises be unto y'all. All praises be unto y'all. Hello, y'all. Come. Hey, just tell him thank you, son. Give him praise. Okay? Yeah. Hey, he been good to me. Yeah. Hey, he been good to me. I just wanna say thank you. Thank you. Yeah. 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 He been good to me. Yeah. Hey, he been good to me. I just wanna say thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Toda Rabba. Yahweh. Hallelujah. Yeah. Toda Rabba. Yahuwah. Hallelujah. Thank you. Let's go. Give him praise, give him worship, yeah, he worth it. Work out with that word, and I ain't talking burpees. Lifting up his name, and I ain't talking pull-ups. When I'm down in my spirit, his word lift my chin up. If it ain't salvation, ain't no conversation. His word bring me peace, that's my meditation. Got rid of the chaos with no hesitation. His ruach keep me lifted, that's my elevation. Yeah, ayy. He been good to me, he been real to me, he been everything, he been all I need, he been on the scene, he been right there, he been everywhere. Gotta lift his name, gotta give him praise. Yeah, he been good to me. Yeah, ay, he been good to me. I just wanna say thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He been good to me. Yeah, hey, he been good to me. I just wanna say thank you.
Hey, the water arbor for your grace, the water arbor for your mercy. Plenty days could have heard me. No, I ain't worthy. Read your word when I'm thirsty. Bow down, now you heard me. You made an everlasting covenant with your people. The water arbor, cause you know that we need. Forgive me, Father, I ain't know I was he. The water arbor that you made me a free, bro. I see the trick of the enemy. All this big talk about a vaccine. The angels of the Most High came around the people, yeah, like it track me. Put all your faith in the Father. Thank you for waking my father. Yo, who you get all the honor? I got my spiritual garment. They can kill us, but can't harm us. They use COVID, so we won't get it. Bringing the baby, so it don't matter. Go read Revelation chapter 12. We the woman in travail. Thank you for waking me out of this hell, Dad. Showing me I really smell bad. Your Holy Spirit really feels, Dad.
Yeah. He been good to me. Yeah. Hey,
Hold on, Zion.
he been good to me. I just wanna say thank you. Thank you. Yeah. He been good to me. Yeah. Hey, he been good to me. I just wanna say thank you. Yeah. He been good to me. Yeah. Hey, he been good to me. I just wanna say thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
On the secret place of the Most High shall bow to the shadow of the Almighty. Don't get scared, Israel. We got it. We got everything we need. Yahuwah.
Magic. That's how we do it. Holy Spirit, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect peace. Even if the world stopped talking about that magic. That's how we do it. Holy Spirit, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect peace. Even if the world stopped talking about that magic. That's how we do it. Holy Spirit, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect peace. Even if the world stopped talking about that magic. That's how we do it. Holy Spirit, bring me straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect ease, even if the world stops talking about that.
Mad scientists, we the flyest sons of Isaac. Analyze it, same ones that civilized it. Realize it, chiefing each of the Michael Islands. We verified it, we beat them stone temple pilots. As we align with constellations, you know the time. And it's prophesied that dry bones will come alive and begin to rise. They recognize and see the signs, now they're petrified. All praise to the Most High, so they stay silent. Thunderstorms are getting violent. The Lord's working. Granny told us to keep quiet. Angels are listening, just to wreck and slay giants. The power to manipulate clouds and change climate. It's a good time when God's jewels come out shining. Cause all your violence and oppression created diamonds. While you're hiding full of panic, fear, and anxiety, we be reclining, kick back, chilling and winding.
Magic, that's how we do it. Holy Spirit brings straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect ease, even if the world stops talking about that. Magic, that's how we do it. Holy Spirit brings straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect ease, even if the world stops talking about that. Magic, how we do it. Straight to it. A what? Even if the world stops. Magic, how we do it. Straight to it. A what? Even if the world stops.
Dearly beloved of the covenant, yeah, we own it. We up now. I was moving every opponent. This second I was proving the truth to be your atonement. And maybe here have mercy. I'm playing with devil on it. Yes, indeed. We the chosen seed, planted like a tree. Big and tall, we can never fall. Cause we rooted deep in the walls of Almighty God. You just wait and see who the balls. You know who we are, you know who we be. I'm a dog like my daddy is. He had many kids come together. We'll break you off. You know what it is. Got the magic in this automatic. Don't you hear the static? Used to panic when we hit your planet. Leave your city flooded. Not to mention we got angels in positions with munition. Then we hit you with precision. Eliminate the opposition. Better listen your submission. Pebble mount to your condition. Better go on both the mission. Should have had a better vision of this magic.
That's how we do it. Holy Spirit brings straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect ease, even if the world stops talking about that. Magic. That's how we do it. Holy Spirit brings straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect ease, even if the world stops talking about that. Magic. How we do it. Straight to it. A what? Even if the world stops. Magic. How we do it. Straight to it. A what? Even if the world stops. Magic. That's how we do it. Holy Spirit bring you straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect ease, even if the world stops talking about that. Magic. That's how we do it. Holy Spirit bring you straight to it. I'm talking about a what? Yeah, cooler than a nice box, perfect ease, even if the world stops talking about that. Magic.
All praises to the Most High, the highest, our Elohim, our Father, our Mother, our Brother. All praises to our celestial, our ancestors, and much love and much respect to the Mishpachah, Yasharel. Those of us who are standing strong, enduring and persevering through all of the madness that we have seen and gone through. The shame of Cain is what was hidden coming to light. As the sun and the moon's light brings us much insight. As wisdom increases here at the end, you know who is your friend and who is not. Our enemies cannot gain anything that is of light. Our enemies have benefited from what was hidden and out of sight. And now, as our time has commenced and our Elohim has brought us in, now it is time for us to gain all that we have had to gain through our heritage and our lands and each other. We continue to build upon each other. The esoteric bricks that are within us, as the temple, as Yahweh Shai told us, that the temple is in us, the kingdom is in us, are bricks we build one by one collectively. While everybody else is still trying to debate, they're still trying to figure out what they see, what they know. They're still trying to figure out who's great when we already know. We already understand that our Elohim is at hand, that the sands of time has elapsed upon the heathen's dreams. And it seems that none of them can come against us. The more we gain, the more we see, the more light that brings to you and me. We gain insight with no shame. That's why the whole world is losing the game. And the game was to hide a thing. It was hide and go seek. And now we're seeking. And they are freaking out because they never thought that we would be able to stand tall and shout, "O Elohim, O Elohim." We love our Elohim. They never thought that we'd get to this. They always thought it was just a dream. And as they're beginning to realize and wake and take the sleep from their eyes, they're starting to see now clearly who we are. And there's nothing they can do about it. And that's the beauty of the day. And people want to say, oh, well, you guys hate. We don't hate. We don't hate per se. We do not like a thing that is evil and wicked for sure, but that's a given, considering where we all have come from. Like some of us are young, some of us are older. And the wisdom that is within that is stronger. And people want to acknowledge Jebus of the whites as their might today. Yet all that's happening, he ain't even coming their way. Where is he? He was the beast that hid our gains, our heritage. Because they said, oh, well, Jesus of the whites is all you need because he's the one who saves you. Therefore, we never sought after our heritage. We never sought after anything for me and you. It was always about him, it, the idol of heathen madness. And now we get to gain. And we're doing it without, as I said, any shame. Yet we're bringing fame to our Elohim. And that is a beautiful thing. Now that Cain is no longer hiding a thing and is coming to shame, we get to see them as the root of wickedness and get moved out of the way. And that's the beauty again of the day. We get to be moved out of the way. Checkmate. You see, it's checkmate time. And they all want us to forget about that and, ride or die with them any which way but loose. And we're going, no, we don't want that. We'll be like the juice. The juice is loose. Mark Furman kicked the bucket. How many more will expire before July 4th? How many more? 250 years in, all of their sins are being shown. All of them. Cain to Canaan, the Levant people too, all the way down to Christian insanity. Everything is being exposed. and they think that they're going to grow. They think that the next demon president of the heathen seed is going to do anything to you and me. They are crazy. They can't do anything for themselves. They are lazy. And to be honest, all praises to the Most High to show their laziness in their quest for truth. Because Cain and Canaan hid a thing to make it hard for them, but not necessarily, well, hard for me and you, but not necessarily them, because they are not finding him. It is us who seeks after our Elohim. Again, hide and seek. We have been playing this game, not even understanding the game that we were playing. But now we do. Now we do. That's why we're able to move forward in truth. And that's a beautiful thing. And take that not for granted. Take that not for granted. Because the love that we seek is the love that we share collectively from everywhere. And people don't understand that we're not against them. We're against our enemies. So if thine is an enemy to me, you are an enemy to our Elohim. So where are you going to go? Where are you going to run to? Warriors. You're not even tried. You haven't even been tried yet. That's true. But you shall and you will, because that's what's next. Judgment for justice for just us, because nobody wanted that for us. Nobody cared. They still don't. Talk about reparations. You can't pay me enough. You, world, hold my heritage and my land as such. And you hold it with all your might, thinking that because you all are, in your minds, the majority and white, you guys are going to do something and be able to make things right. It's never going to happen. It's too much blood on your hands. It's time now for whomever is on the world side to take a stand and leave it. Because now it's time for it to be judged. Judgment. And people go, oh, well, there's going to be a rapture, but it's not a rapture. It's another rapture. Listen, you can pontificate all you want, but the fact still remains that judgment is on the cards. No, the world has not been judged. The judgment started at the house of Yasharel first. We've been judged. And some still are. And every day that we move forward, we're judging not only ourselves, because again, we self-reflect, we self-convict, and we then are able to self-correct. So many people out here are struggling with that because they think they get next. The Democrats get next. The repugnants get next. Democracy gets next. No. Demonocracy gets no. Cain's system, no. It's done. And we continue to show you that it is over. And it doesn't matter. Esau, he is of no consequence. His sword has been taken because it's going to be used upon him. Canaan, now that we understand his, I was talking about the slide earlier, his inverted 5-point system, 5-star system, sounds like a car salesman, a 5-star system, the horn star. Now we can move out the way from that because it's always been about vice. And they know that. And the covenant made by Cain to create this whole system, to put us at the bottom, to create vice, that's about to be destroyed. And the minds of the heathen rage. Why do they rage? Because this is 2026 and it's done, son. It's done. What else can they do? Where can they go? What can they do to me and you that they've not done before? How are they going to build when they have never done that ever? They've just destroyed. How is it that they're going to bring forth any trouble upon us? Of course, they are in trouble. So the trouble that they invoke is the trouble that they get. This is their Carmageddon. And they want us to be part of it? The Edomite camps, who clearly love it? The Levant, Lebanese, the Middle East, Canaanites? What are they going to do to us now that we see them? Oh, the biggest problem to us of Ish is not Hezbollah, but it's the young black people. Oh, really? We are not your equal. We are above all of you all, mentally, physically, and now spiritually. Now the cards are on our side. They're dropping for us. The stars are showing as such. The sun and the moon is bringing its light to make everything bright, to ensure that the darkness cannot hide out of sight. And this is where we are right now. Esoterically, if you're not allowed to read, don't read, but don't come over terribly trying to tell us what to do or not to do. Stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to. Don't sweat me. Don't sweat us. We're Yasharel. And we move as much. The whole world is struggling with their own sins, not ours. We've done nothing. We didn't bring this pain to you. We didn't do this thing. We haven't done anything to bring this to you ever. You brought this to us. And now it's not even clever. It's not even a secret. The secret combinations have been found. You've been found wanting, mene, tekel, upshard. It is over. And the more we speak it, the more it gets closer. And that's the beauty of our day. 2026 of the Gregorian calendar. Hey, the day is over. And now we bring in more information. We bring in more love. We bring in more light. We bring in more insight. We are doing this thing the way the Most High said for us to do properly, that we can find each other as he gathers us as his remnant within the remnant, because it's only about the few. Always has been, always shall be. It's never been about the many. Universal madness is the key to know who our enemies are. If you believe in universality, you are an enemy to Yasharel. Because universalism's never done anything for us. We wanted separation and equality in a system that was hateful to us. We just wanted to be left alone to prove and show our Elohim how we worship him in love, mind, spirit, and even in our dreams. But we couldn't do that because they forwarded the afflictions, because they felt Jebus of the whites was going to save them not understanding that he is convicting them. And now they're looking for peace. They're looking for love. Well, you can't get it from me. You can only get it from yourself, that which has come from my Elohim. Is it yours? Can you obtain it? Can you hold it? Will you be able to behold it? Well, that's for our Elohim to decide. And that's why we now know the shame of Cain is what was hidden coming to light as the sun and the moon's light brings us greater insight. That's why I say study, study, study. We're going to bring out some other books. We're going to put we're going to, like tonight, I did some searches. Excuse me. I did some searches. Hold on a second. And we're going to put those in the comment section of the live, so you can take those and you can start searching yourself, and you can see the books, the canonical and non-canonical books that speak about Cain, Canaan, Seth, Shem. The things that they don't want us to learn about, that they don't want to teach about, that they want us to grovel about. Just stay in your lane, niggas. Stay in your lane. Just love Jeebus of the whites and everything will be all right. Well, them days are gone. Them days are over, because we began to build our temple. Like everybody else has a temple. Everybody else could build. Everybody else could do their things. They can have their churches, their mosques, their synagogues and things, but yet we can't. We have to be up underneath heathens, Canaanites, Cain, and Edomites. No, we don't. Let my people go so that we can worship our Elohim in peace and rest and solidarity. That's why we're being sanctified today. We're being sanctified today because it is our turn. Whilst the whole world has to fall into dismay because it is their turn. Carmageddon, the tides have turned. And now it is burn, baby, burn. And that burning isn't just going to be in the physical, that's in the mental too. Everybody's going to have to deal with what they got to deal with through and through, inside and out. Nobody's going to be able to get away. Nobody's going to be able to shout, no, it wasn't me. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. It doesn't matter. You were complicit in it because you've taken the dainties of it. And because you still don't want to acknowledge who we are, it's fine. It's okay. You don't have to, because it's not going to stop your judgment, yet it will make it tougher on you. And then you're going to look at us and you're going to be like, hey, where they at? Hey, can you help me? No, because we're helping ourselves. This is about us, the remnant within the remnant. Now, if you come over here and you take on that scenario, you take on that fruit, and then you go somewhere else and you deal with other people's loot, well, that's on you. You will also have to deal with that by yourself. We're not here to stop you from doing whatever you want to do. If you want to eat, eat. If you don't. But don't be lukewarm in it, because the time is done. This is why we pray. This is why we meditate. This is why we fast. This is why we think. This is why we do the things we do, so that nobody can say, hey, they didn't tell me it. When we did. The lies stink. The lies can no longer hold us bound. They can no longer keep us down. They can no longer entreat us with its nastiness. And that's what the Canaanites did. That's what the Lamech oaths do. This is what they've done. They've created oaths time and time again. And they never let us in unless it was to go fight for their wars, to spill our blood for their madness, their lies and trickery. And now we're done with all that. We don't care. We're not voting. We're being sanctified. While we're beginning to see Cain and Canaan and Esau and all their lies, we are being sanctified, separated, holy and true. That's why I continue to study, Mishpachah. Don't let these fools fool you. We are rolling. Picture us rolling. We're close. We're on the precipice. We're at the zenith of our time being alive on this earth that the Creator gave and created for us. So take heed that no man deceive you. Study and show yourself to be true. Because now is the time of our sanctification, our rise. And anybody that wants to come along, get on the train or meet your demise. It's simple. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Our Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Seth, Noah, Shem. All praises to the Most High. Shalom, Mishpachah, Baruch Hashem, for you all showing up and coming out and doing your thing. Thank you, Baruch Hashem. We tonight have, as we do every night, Brother Sly. All praise to the Most High. And tonight we have Sister Romy. All praises to the Most High. She's going to be coming to us, bringing us some more edification, more understanding, esoterically. And people, look, if people, I don't want to talk about that. Listen, the daughters of Zion have things to say. They have a reason, a part to play. We brothers, we sons of Zion, and our daughters, and the daughters of Zion, collectively, we paved the way. So if you got something to say about, something negative to say at that, you can kick rocks and say it loudly so that you can get marked. So that we can pray against you because now you're an enemy. Because we ain't got time. We are coming to be sanctified. All praise to the Most High. Sister Romy, Sister Romy, Sister Romy.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Mm-hmm.
Shalom, beloved nation.
Yes.
So when we were talking about Canaan, and the Jebus of white, right? So at first, the three-headed beast was America, United Kingdom, and Rome.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a physical fight. That was a physical structure that we were praying against.
That's right.
But now that we are elevating it to a spiritual fight and praying against Cain, which is, you said, is their God.
Mm-hmm.
Canaan, which is their spirit, their unclean spirit.
That's right.
And then their Jebus of white, which is their image of the beast.
Which is Edomite.
Right. Mm-hmm. So we're now actually taking it to a spiritual level. Mm-hmm. Now, their prognosticators, and I will often mention their prognosticators because you can tell what their prognosticators already know. Like when Abraham, before he was born, Nimrod was told that someone was going to be born. And so Nimrod set out to have Abraham killed, which of course Terah hid Abraham with Shem.
That's right.
So they already know that we were going to wake up. They already know about Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones waking up. They know that we're going to do certain things. They know that we're going to pick apart everything, try to put back together and reconstruct our culture, our covenant.
Heritage.
Right. So they are already creating certain things ahead of time, which is not going to do them any good. Anything they create is a booby trap for them.
Yep.
Okay. So with that said, the only level left is to install the AI activities that they're doing, and try to use that to come against us, which is not going to work. That's their last vestige, because they still got CERN going, but CERN is not doing anything. If it's doing anything, it's driving 83. So there's two groups out there. There's the elite and then there's the masses. And in 83, in the masses, is going to be some of the strangers. So the strangers are the ones that's like, oh, we never, America is cursed because of what they've done. And the other strangers are the ones that know who we are. Some of the strangers are waking up. I don't know. I'm not caring much about them. However, the pattern out there is that the ones that are not strangers are the ones that's really going berserk.
Right.
Okay. And then, of course, we know that the whole earth is under judgment with all of the stuff happening. So now, our next level of understanding that we're coming against spiritual wickedness in high places. They're now willing to say, oh, there's aliens. No, these are demons, shadeems. If people want to understand the lineage of the fallen angels to Nephilim to shadeems, you got to do your research.
That's right.
Because none of us have all the pieces. And when it comes to coming to this level of warfare, which is a spiritual level, we have to understand the celestial times.
Yep.
Okay, we got to understand what the sun, the moon, and the stars are doing, when the planets are doing whatever. We have to understand how not to be all up in Babylon at all in any way. We have to understand, and I did save that. I took a screenshot of Big Judah when he was reading from that book, and it said that the children of Shem have to rejoice and celebrate when you see the calamities and the judgment. Now, we're not doing it like spit in your eye face. Oh, I'm happy that you killed those, whatever. But we have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. If the Most High knows the end from the beginning, then when Big Levi said, don't feel sorry for when you see these babies being killed, because you don't know what they were going to grow up and do to the children of Yasharal.
That's right.
Because the moment you go, oh my God, that black man, he killed 8 babies, and oh, why did that happen? What are you saying to the Most High? That he didn't know that that was going to happen? That just happened, and now the Most High is going to reap judgment on the killer who killed himself?
Right.
So all that you're seeing now, and I said to you, Brother Moriel, the distress that the nation is going to see are children killing and being killed.
Right. Yep.
And then look what happened right after I said that. The 2 kids shot up the mosque.
That's right.
And and it was kids that was up in there.
Right. That's right.
So that's what you're going to see, and then things will amp up. But having said that, when we see these things come upon the nation, we have to be the Most High's cheerleader.
Yeah.
And while we keep our feast days and our Shabbats, we have to do it with a smile on our face. We have to be happy about it. We can't be like, oh, okay, but I just, and then, again, I hear a lot of, the masses in 83. Well, I don't watch the news anymore. Well, then you're missing out on the judgments of the Most High. And
Well,
they
it's gonna come on you like a thief in the night if you're
right.
not paying attention. Go ahead,
And they
sis.
look at me like, huh? And
Mhm.
then they walk away, and that's fine. Because if they got some confusion with that last statement, hopefully they'll go seek out something. Like, is she
Mhm.
right or is she crazy?
Right.
Ask that question, because maybe you'll figure it out. But we know what is coming. So now we have to know what the celestial timing is, because the Most High, he's using the sun, the moon, and the stars to give us signs and seasons, and to know when things are going to come upon the nations, especially in the last days. We were once leaders in these sciences, and we taught 83. Those are things we should have never done.
Nope.
And then 83 took it, burned everything, whited it out, and then said, hey, we're the ones that created all of this. And they didn't. So now they're creating these data centers and AI, and the data centers are doing stuff. And then here's the thing, they're putting most of the centers in rural communities.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
They were
And
just
rural communities are who?
Jeebus of
It's,
the White,
it's them. That's correct.
the evangelical, backwards, bucktooth, hillbilly, you
Mm-hmm.
know, right, right. My savior, he's white, and if you say he's black, I'm gonna jump off a cliff and kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now that we understand that the seed of Cain is separate from us, and some people are born into it under a bloodline, and many choose it under oath.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a bloodline to it, but they choose it. And
Yep.
so now what's going to happen is, it's no more conspiracy theory. It's just that the media would rather report about the government releasing files on aliens than talk about all the demonic activities that's in those Epstein files.
Mm-hmm. It's,
All
it's
those,
it's it's a distraction and a deception.
right, right. The satanic activities
Mm-hmm.
that what is in the Epstein files is what has occurred to us over the last 400
That's
years.
right. That's right. And they don't want to talk about that. And let me just interject for a second. They don't want to talk about the evil that they've done. This is what they fear. They fear justice. They don't understand that we're not seeking forgiveness. We want pure justice. Why? Because that's the only thing that cleans the slate. They know that the blood has to be spilled in order to cleanse, to purge. They just up here upset because they hearing it from us. And they know what that means. That's what this whole thing has been about. Don't let them talk about justice. When we were in the 20th century seeking justice, they burned us at the stake. They took away everything that we had and put it underwater, burned it down, took the land, created all types of commotion and confoundedness against us, and made us take oaths and rituals to be an Edomite, so that we can then be a gatekeeper against our own people for our enemy. And now we're done with that. We don't care about fat ass. What's that nigga's name? That coon ass nigga. What's his name? Roland
Oh,
Martin. We
Roland
don't
Martin.
care about him. We don't care about that other uh, fat, cantankerous, now thin as a rail, Ozempic,
Al Sharpton.
Sharpton. We don't care about none of them. All of them can go straight to hell, the heathen's hell, because we're done. We're done saying, "Oh, just because you black, you part of our crew." No, we don't care about you. You're not part of us. You're not Yasharel. You're certainly, if you're wearing an Ultraman suit with wristband, forearm wristbands, you're not us either. No one is the remnant within the remnant unless they are chosen. Go ahead, sis. I just had to get
Right.
that.
Honestly, they have to be led here by the Ruach. None of us
That's
can lead anybody. We
that's right.
can't lead anybody. None of us are leaders. We only
Mm-mm.
got one king. It's the Most High. We will never be leaders again. I don't want another human leader. No Saul. Okay,
Mm-mm.
maybe David, but all right. No Solomon for daggone sure, because Solomon got us in this mess. Now we're
Mm-hmm.
coming out of it. And now that we're elevating from the three-headed physical beast of America, London, and the Vatican to understanding that they are under Cain,
Yeah.
which is the first murderer. So when they say you are your father's child, he was a murderer from the beginning. They're talking about a line, a lineage that is not just physical anymore, but spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
The spiritual has what do you call enlisted some of the most talented of the tribe of Yehuda to be our entertainers.
That's right.
And so now I see entertainment kind of differently. When I see Black people performing for Black people, I feel joy. When I see Black people performing for white people, I see jigaboos. I don't know why. It just looks so, it's like we are casting our pearls after swine when we do that. When
Mm-hmm.
we entertain 83. So when you see the B's and the whatevers and the J's, and you see them, trying to entertain um 83 and make their money for their spiritual masters that they're under. They've taken all these oaths, everybody in entertainment. And then what is that? It's not just with Sharpton, but it's the Ozempic look for a lot
Yeah.
of them. I don't even know. So that, they could be saying that's Ozempic and it could be demonic.
It is. It's not Ozempic. It's the demon that was already in them, the shadim that's already in them, coming out of them.
That's now
That's
in
what a
full swing.
shadim
Yeah.
looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what a shadim looks like. That's right.
That's what 100. That's what somebody who's being 100% controlled by
Mm-hmm.
a shadim would
Correct.
look like.
100% correct.
Their essence is being sucked out of them.
Yes. Yes. And
And
yes, they do drink blood. They do all of that.
yes, yeah, yeah. They do all of that. So all those things, and then depending on what blood it is. Now, when the Most High says the life is in the blood, again, if you're drinking animals' blood, that blood is going to mix with your blood. So
Mhm.
blood is electromagnetic. It's got plasma. So
Mhm.
anytime you drink blood, it's automatically connected to blood. And the magnetic field is in high full force effect.
Mhm.
The two F-16s or F whatever that collided,
Yep.
if you really look at it, it looked like a magnet, like they just got stuck together.
Yep. Sucked together like
Right.
woof.
Like
Yep.
two magnets that are
Mhm.
not of opposite polarity.
Correct.
So that right away, that automatically told me because I already said it from a while ago. Ley lines are fully open, so they can't control the ley lines. And
Mm-mm.
now they're trying to do these centers, these massive centers that are built with copper. That's why they got rid of the copper penny. They
Yep.
took it out of circulation because they need the copper. It's made of copper, silver, gold, and platinum.
Mm-hmm.
And these wires, it's all to collect information like the Humanity Bureau and all of that and more.
Mm-hmm.
We are relying on our Most High. We are relying on spiritual power. We are relying on the angelic realm. We are relying on Michael
Yep.
standing up for us in
That's right.
that day. That
That's right.
day begins today. Because when we look at all the astrological events going on, okay, number one, we've got a blue moon coming up. We've got Pluto in retrograde, and there's a lot to do for that.
Mm-hmm.
Pluto's going to remain there until October 15th. Halfway through Pluto being in retrograde, we're going to have a total solar eclipse on
Mm-hmm.
August 28th. So between now and August 28th, there's a lot going on and there's a lot for us to do. And I have stuff here that I'm going to discuss. Because when I get into that, I just want to go right to it. But these are the significant astrological events that are coming up. The blue moon, Pluto going retrograde, the blue moon, and then we have a total solar eclipse. And then Pluto comes out of retrograde October 15th. So if you looked at the way with Pluto in retrograde, if we look at the big picture, the macro, and we look at how the clown was handled by Xi over there in China,
Mm-hmm.
okay, number one, Xi didn't go out to meet him.
Nope.
That's a no-no. But Xi went out to meet Putin,
Mm-hmm.
or it's going to go out to meet him whenever he's going to meet him. So you notice that there are these two broad meetings. The second thing is the clown bought all those tech and banking people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Why? Because they don't have access to the China market.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
the American market is going away from them because a lot of people really today, all they want to do is post their TikTok video of how miserable and horrible their life is. And when I see it, it makes me chuckle, not at the person complaining. It makes me chuckle. Oh, how the tables have turned. And because you're feeling the pinch, you're now upset.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yep.
you weren't feeling the pinch. So all I can say is welcome to being Black in America.
Mm-hmm. So-called Black.
You know what I'm saying.
I
I'm
do.
being very facetious when I say that, but I'm also being real. Welcome
That's
to
true.
being Black in America. You work twice as hard for half as much. So welcome. Okay? Because you're and then here's the thing. They're cutting getting rid of these Civil Rights Amendment, Voting Rights Act. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? You
That's a
got
sanctification.
Democrats and you got the rat publicans.
Right. Right.
Neither side is any good. And if
Nope.
8% can cause the clown to be in office so the Most High can use him as a puppet and create the three-ring circus. And speaking of the three-ring circus, let me just say this right now. That 1.2 something billion slush fund that he wants to do for the January 6th, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they open up the claims line, yeah, I saw this sister. I agree with her. I'm filing a claim. Okay. What's the
Mm-hmm.
worst they can do? Say no? Okay.
Right.
But I'm going to file a claim. And when they go, well, what is your reason? I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to use elections are unfair. That's true.
Yep. Yep.
Write it like you are a January 6th member. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Write it like your ancestors. That'll
Mm-hmm.
work. Okay.
Yep. It's unfair. It's not equal.
Right.
They've taken so many liberties away. The
Write
same
the truth
the
about the
normal stuff.
Democrats.
Yeah.
Even write the
The
truth about the
Democrats are.
Democrats.
Yep.
Just
The
write the truth
Democrats are
just about
evil.
the Democrats.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because
Yep.
what's the worst they're gonna do? Reject it? Okay, fine. But the sister, she was like,
Mhm.
we shouldn't be fighting any of this. They want to post a slush fund, file a claim. I
Right.
was like, you got a point right there. I'm retired. I got a couple of minutes on my hand.
Mhm.
Things are gonna backfire against them. We the people on TikTok, the blassels that are
Mhm.
trying to convince people to go out to vote, their likes and their comments are still at zero. Because what we do, the remnant inside the remnant, becomes a more spiritual overlay on our people. Not everything they're picking up on, but they're picking up on the fact that the educational system is out of whack.
Mhm.
A lot of even blastols don't want to send their children to school because they're being called the N word and all kinds of craziness. Schools are being shot up to begin with, whether it's black, white, whatever school, they're being shot up. So they're just not safe. This is all the spirit of Cain that's out there. And when you're
Mhm.
not under the covenant, that spirit of Cain will latch on to you.
Yep.
Okay. So with the astrological events, do you want to get into that right now? Or do you want to
Yeah.
go into the Gospel of Judah?
Let's get
Judah.
into no. Let's do the celestial.
Okay. So we have a blue moon that's coming up, and it's a macro moon. It's going to be way out there. So, that's going to affect other things. It's going to affect the weather. And like we've said, the weather, we've had winter in spring.
Mhm.
Okay. Summer is going to start very early, like as of today,
Mhm.
yesterday. Um, the blue moon that's coming up on the 31st. So this biblical season is a 13-month solar lunar cycle. So we have
Mhm.
13 moons, and you get that when you have two moons that opens, closes and opens the season in the same 31-day period. So the blue moon on May 31st, which is Sunday, I know it's going to sound crazy, but this is the Most High, will open the season of summer. I don't go by the solstice or the equinox because that's all Roman 325 AD. They came up with all of that. I don't do that anymore. I used to, I don't. I'm in a great Brecca loop right now. I mean, a lot's been happening for me. I told you, Brother Moriel, certain things that was happening with the land being
Mhm.
completely cleared, which is wonderful.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
as a matter of fact, I would like to give this little spiritual thing because I know it's happening because of everything that's happening with us and the Most High. And then for me, understanding this,
Mhm.
how the celestial realm works in the physical and not the other way around.
Mhm.
Okay. So last year or back in October 2024, when Moriel said, "Oh, the Jubilee is coming," and I was like, "Oh, that's what's missing in the calendar." And I got up and I put it in. And so the Jubilee for me was 2025, 2026.
That's right.
And I had some trees chopped down in 2024, October, but I never thought about it. And then I had three sections, three full set. One was huge down by the front, huge. Okay. And so all of last year, biblical year, I kept saying, looking for and saying, I got to clean this land. And it never materialized. And I would be reminded by people that I would talk to, well, you know, it's the Jubilee. You can't touch the land. You can't touch the land. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, April, I said, I'm looking out and I said, you know, I got to clean this land up. May 1st, before the full moon came, it was all gone.
Yep.
3 giant, what do you call it, dumpster truck of trees where he piled, it was really 4 because he had to use a tarp and rope. The tarp couldn't just fit the hooks on the truck. He had to use rope because he was piling it high. Mm-hmm. So April 28th, I said, let me call. I went through Angie's list and 2 people popped up. The Mexican came, $2,100, $700 a load. I was like, okay, well, I got to do that monthly. I don't, well, when you have it all, you call me. Okay, bye. So I come inside, I'm waiting for the second guy and I'm washing the dishes. And the Spirit says the next guy coming is the guy you're going to work with. So I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm not going to do more than $600 a load. The guy comes, he looks at it and he says, I'll do it for $500 a load. So I already knew that was the Most High math right there.
Right. That's right.
Because I'm ready to pay $600. So I said, okay, but here's the thing. I'm on a fixed income. So can I pay you $500 a month so, you know, you come once a month. He said, no, I'll come one day and pick up everything and you can give me the $500 a month. I was like, cool. So I come inside and I'm like thinking, and I said, you know what? I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. You know, I'm just going to bite the bullet. Next 3 months, $500 a month. I get up the next morning and there's a song in my head. Don't you worry about a thing, Mama. Right. Which Cuba Gooding Sr. sings that, the main ingredient. Okay. So I played it once. Then I said, let me look at the lyrics for sure. And then, of course, it's written by Stevie Wonder.
Right.
So I look at the lyrics. I'm like, okay, they're cool. So I played it again. Soon as it ended, blam. I was able to call the dumpster guy and say, I got $1,000 for you. When can you come? The Most High hooked the sister up. I got enough rucka to give him that and not feel no pinch. It came. I was not expecting it. All I got was a text that said, I don't know when I'll have the rest, but when I do, I'll send it. And all I said was, Baruch Hashem, you're good. Whenever you get it, you get it. Because I didn't expect it. Yeah. So then I called the guy and I said, when can you come? He said, I'll call you back. And he came Friday, May 1st. The land is cleared. All the debris is gone. And I knew right then and there that last year was the Jubilee because I couldn't get nobody to respond, let alone come and clean it up. My land is cleaned up. And then the Spirit said, so here's what you're going to do. Because the last time I had a landscaper come, he says, well, I need a $5,000 retainer fee because I got 3 acres. And they're like, yeah, okay. So I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So the Spirit said, you're going to use this guy to dig your dirt, and then you're just going to plant the wildflower seeds. And I'm good. See, I'm going to be good. So I know that I'm working in a certain, when the portals are correct. I know I'm tracking these portals correctly. So when we look at the fact that Pluto is in retrograde until October 15th. So here's what the nation would need to do. Because we're looking at mini moons, you would have to do major introspection. Now, I'm going to break it down based on many definitions because today, when you do research with Google, I need to find a way to say that funny. You have to pull from different sources because AI is now controlling this stuff. So you got to know when and where, and then go, wait. Now, the way you're going to understand words like introspection, you're going to have to learn some things in psychology. And then you'll know when they're adding on something. I can tell you this from a psychological perspective. If you're going to do introspection, the process of examining your own internal thoughts, they have feelings. You should put a scratch through that. Don't examine feelings. Mm-mm. That's not something for you to examine. That's something for you to feel. Mm-hmm. But your motives, your intent. Right. If you focus on the process of examining your own internal thoughts, now internal thoughts, that's called metacognition.
Now hold that thought real quick. So when we're dealing with the psychology of spirituality,
right,
it's being dealt with from a true Hebraic perspective. So you can't utilize this information dealing with it from a Eurocentric, Pan-African, African, Asiatic perspective. Right. Because those things do not work the same. And this is why a lot of people out here in the world are having problems with obtaining things, because their intent of their desire is rooted in their own, I don't want to say vice, but their own desire or their own wants.
See, that's the feelings part. That's the feelings part. Because feelings is very, very subjective. It's how I feel. You know, it's not how you feel. I can't feel how you feel.
That's right.
About something. I can only understand it through your thoughts and your motive, not your words. That's why they say actions are louder than words. Your words your words can be used to track. Your words can be used to track your actions. Do your words match your actions? Then we understand that your motives are correct. If your words don't match your actions. Now, but when we talk about the process of examining your own internal thoughts and motives, it's not toward just yourself.
Right.
It's toward the Most High.
Correct.
And and I can nutshell it this way for the nation to, just so that we're not trying to figure this out, but he's the greatest sugar daddy, but he wants to know that you want him for the daddy, not the sugar. That's your motives. Are you doing it because you want to be a leader? You want to be a big shot? You want to rule a camp? You want to be a pastor? You want to be a minister? No. You've got to be humble. Humility, because he is the king, not Yahushai. Yahushai cannot be the king of kings, because then the Most High is a schlep. So when we go back to introspection, the question I ask myself is, who am I doing this for?
Mm-hmm. What am I doing it for?
If I was just doing it for myself, I wouldn't be sharing any of this, number one. I'd just keep going and saying, and then what would he do? When you don't do what the Most High wants you to do,
he takes it from you.
Right. He gives it to another person.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do the introspection, number one, examine your own internal thoughts. Now, to do that, that's the first step that we got to stop at for a minute, because that is a process. They got a big term for it but it's called metacognition. Mm-hmm. It's a self-awareness, recognizing your own biases. Recognize what?
Well, I was going to say, that's exactly what we've been doing: self-reflection, self-conviction, and self-correction.
But this is more important to do it during Pluto going
No, I
retrograde.
understand. I understand. Go ahead.
Because when Pluto is direct, it affects the bigger, the macro geopolitical. When it's retrograde, it affects the micro. So over this period of time, up until October 15th, whether anybody wishes to believe it or not, May 31st, the night of the blue moon, will begin the season of summer, which has already started as of today.
That's right.
Because they're breaking record numbers up there in Boston, which should still be chilly. It's May.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything is starting, and so that's just the seasonal. Now, the day of remembrance is going to be May 31st. It's a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make a meal. And this time, we need to ask the Most High a simple request to get our land back.
Mm-hmm.
For those who are in apartments, tell the Most High you need to get your land. And ask him. Ask the Most High. Say to him, show me what I need to learn and do to get that. What I need to learn and do for the kingdom to get my land back. Because we our ancestors once had it. Now, you've got to go, this is the time to go inside and look at your own biases and reoccurring mental patterns. Like if you watch certain things and then you get a negative thought, you're going to go, well, I don't want to watch that anymore. No, you can't do that. What you have to do is say, why am I getting that negative thought? And you have to then kind of analyze that. Not shadow work, just do analytical. Stay away from the feelings. Feelings are a Eurocentric, psychological, takes you down some rabbit hole that says, well, if you don't agree with me, you don't understand me. That's not true. I can understand you. I may not agree, but I can understand. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the thing, we can agree to disagree. That wouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Self-regulation. Monitor your progress in raising your frequency.
Right.
Raising your frequency. The quickest way to raise your frequency is to celebrate the judgment that's coming on the earth, that is here upon the earth. Mm-hmm. Celebrate it. Thank the Most High. That's why May 31st, have a nice meal.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have a cake. I'm having a cake. Oh, and speaking of which, the Most High hooked the sister up. I found pomegranate wine.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Did you find a Harris Teeter somewhere?
No, Fresh Market.
Oh, Fresh Market, eh? That's that bougie market.
And hold on, and it's $12.99.
Okay.
That's right.
Fresh
and it
Market.
Tastes real good.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
So it's from Armenia, 2003. So I saw it and I was like, so I kind of, I try not to record everything, but I do record certain things. In 2003, I was watching them Armenian people cook in the fields. And they had a record season production of pomegranates. And I remember I watched the episode where some of the women were making the wine. Now, these are people that don't eat pork. They're more Arabic, so they're more clean, okay? And it's from Armenia. The year is 2003. So I got pomegranate wine for my feast days because I remember in the Song of Solomon, he talks about the pomegranate wine and that being, and then another thing the nation needs to be aware of before I go back to the full moon, because the food has everything to do with self-regulation, self-awareness. Why? If you cut out the junk food, your pineal gland, all of a sudden everything is working better. There is a list called the 7 species of Hebrews. Have you ever heard of it?
The what now? The 7 species? No, let me look it up.
Mm-hmm. And so I learned something about our food with that.
7 species of Yashara?
Of Hebrew.
Of the Hebrew. Huh. Oh, this is about agriculture, products, 2 grains.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah. Dates, olives. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So when you're I'm trying to just pull up the thing. Right. So the 7 species, Sava'at ha min nimin, are 7 agricultural staples, 2 grains and 5 fruits. So don't ask me how that came to me. That was just through the spirit, because I've never heard of this. Mm-hmm. But the thing that got me was when it said honey. And I was like, I knew honey was part of it. And then I read closely and it said honey made from dates. Mm-hmm. And I remember a sister was telling me that she don't eat the bee honey because I think it's like semen or sperm or so, I don't know, something, sound yucky. And I was like, no, because in my mind, I just kept hearing milk and honey, land of milk. So I don't know, honey is okay. And then I realize now that our honey is made from dates.
Dates. Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it, you see you see wheat, barley, and then you see grapes, figs, pomegranate, olives, dates. These are the foods we're going to need to incorporate in our diet as they amp up the plastiques that they're now uncovering. And they're saying part of the way that the plastiques get into the water supply is the dumping in the water. And so when the sun heats up and it melts, some of that gets in the water supply. So some of our drinking water, whatever, but these are the foods that we need to incorporate regularly. And they have significant meaning. Wheat symbolizes tilling the soil and the foundation of sustenance. Barley signifies as a staple crop and the earliest to ripen in the spring. So the barley is what we use to determine. Now, it's when the head of the barley is green. So it still hasn't blossomed. When it turns green, that's when the season begins for the Passover. I'm not putting a date there. Grapes, symbolizing joy, peace, and the abundance of the land.
Yep.
So if we're having these foods incorporated into our feast days, and we understand the esoteric meaning, we can operate more esoterically.
Correct.
Figs, symbolizing vitality, peace, and wisdom. That would mean that figs would be something essential, especially for men to eat. Pomegranate, symbolizing fertility, beauty, and righteousness. That would mean that is something specifically for women to eat. But everybody should eat all of it. Olives. It's food for fuel and anointing. It symbolizes peace and hope. And dates, referred to in the biblical text as honey, symbolizes the sweetness, the victory, the independence, and the prosperity.
And mine says, not to cut you off, but mine says, and the yasher, the uprightness, the dates, uprightness.
See, that's why I just said when you pull these things up, you got to pull them up again and again because you got stuff added to it.
Yeah.
The dates say uprightness, right?
Yeah.
No, mine just says referred to in the biblical text as honey, symbolizing sweetness, victory, independence, and prosperity. That's it.
Yeah. I put it on the board. You see it?
Well, actually, I'm on a different screen right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Right, I see it now. Yeah. So while we're doing our introspection from now until October 15th, we have a mini timeline. May 31st is a blue moon. That blue moon is a Sunday. By sundown, you should have your meal prepared. Again, you can open with Psalms 118. We know the significance of that. Ask the Most High for your land, especially those who are in apartments. Tell them, I need my land for safety, for the ability to worship you in comfort and peace. Because the one thing he wanted us to do was to worship him. It's a summer of elevation. So introspection on an individual basis, major insight on the masses population, dividing people into two major groups. We're going to see that. And it's basically going to be the haves and the have-nots, or, the
spiritual and the non-spiritual.
Right.
Hey, I want to add something to what you just said a second ago. Those that are in apartments, those that do not have land, ask, pray, meditate for land. Those that do have land, ask, meditate, pray for your heritage, because we got to take it. We gotta attack. I shouldn't say attack. We have to ask for it all, not just one at a time. It all, everywhere, all the time, everything. So I just wanted to add that.
No, that is correct. And so if we can do it as a collective,
correct,
then what more powerful way to open a portal where you've got two full moons, one opening, one literally closing and opening the next portal. Now, for me, May 31st is going to usher in the Day of Remembrance, and those things are also important. So not only do we have a blue moon, but it's a day of remembrance. I mean, how convenient can the Most High be so that we're not scrambling and trying to cook 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row? We get to rest on Sabbath. So Saturday evening, I can start preparing. I can bake the cake that I'm going to bake, because I'm going to be dealing with my angels on the days of remembrance. I'm going to have pictures of my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, and my father. And I'm going to dress the table, and I'm going to have a wonderful meal. And I'm going to play, probably celebrate good times, come on. Not while I'm eating, but I'll definitely be playing it up, stuff that I can communicate with the Most High and raise my vibrational frequency to a high enough level so that I can continue the Brucker loop that I'm currently experiencing right now. Okay. Right. So I'm not going to break that loop because I'm good, and every day, I don't care what direction of my house that I look out of, I literally see land cleared, because it was three sections.
Yep.
And now it's all gone in one day, May 1st, before the full moon, which was that day. And right after he left, I went and I got a celebratory meal, because I never expected to get enough money to put $1,000 in somebody's hand. That's the only testimony I'm giving. I've had more, but I'm not giving it. That's the one I'm allowed to give. That's right. Really it. So every so often, if I come over it again, it's because I'm stopping myself from blabbermouthing something else that I shouldn't. Okay. All right. So halfway into Pluto's retrograde, that's between now and October 15th, the shift of introspection is going to move from micro self to macro. It's going to turn on the nations. So what you see them going through, Esau going through on the TikTok or the shorts, the same shorts, which by the way, just so you know, um, Facebook and YouTube were always able to connect. Now Facebook is connecting with TikTok. That's why Mark had to go over there because he had to get permission to connect to TikTok. So now,
And that's
what you
why I'm
see
not
on,
on it no more. Just so
well,
you know.
no, but what you see on the Facebook page now are the TikTok reels.
Right.
Right. So we understand how they're trying to move in the shadows, but their shadows are not working. We're going to see major transformation in world events, which we're seeing it anyway, leading to a new justice and a new kingdom. I hope soon. I don't know when, but let's not look for it too soon, but maybe tomorrow, but maybe not. Okay.
Sooner the better.
Right. Now, the macro. While Pluto is in retrograde in July, Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto will align with Saturn and Neptune. This alignment will bring the major, so we're going to look for some major something going on in July. I don't know because the prognosticators for 83 understand what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the Most High who's over everything, but there are two hands now. One is the prognosticators and one is ours.
Wait, you said in July?
Yeah.
Well, that's the 250th year.
Absolutely.
That's what all this is about. That's what the world is having problems with. They don't want to acknowledge that the shit is over. It is done. You don't get another 250 years. You don't get another 5 years. You're not getting another 2 years. This was it. This was your curtain call. So all of the again, all of the esoteric celestial signs are speaking of the end of a thing and a beginning of a thing.
Correct.
But they will act like the end of a thing is us not talking no more about who we are. No, it's the end is them. But go ahead, sis.
Well, the beginning of their so-called thing is one way or the other. It's either a rapture or you get eaten up by the beast.
Right.
You get the mark of the beast. Right.
Right.
That's their garbage stuff. When we already know the mark of the beast is the unholy Roman pedophile Catholic Church.
That's
and
right.
that whole thing. So the other thing is with that whole ecumenical movement that you guys were talking about, this whole major trans alignment that's going to occur right around their 250 year, more likely it's going to knock them off their feet. We are preparing for judgment to come upon the wicked.
That's right.
We're preparing for judgment to come upon the wicked.
So really quickly, let me say this too. Hold on. Let me get to it. Because people don't understand. We are at the end of May already. Already. So Matthew 24, 22 through 24. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Yahushua, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christ and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So that's why we keep saying from the beginning, take heed that no man deceive you, because they would like to say, oh, well, you black Hebrew Israelites are false prophets, or blah, 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 blah. Well, the reality is we're the ones that are standing up for ourselves. We're not standing up for the world. So if the world murdered our brother Yahushua, then who's the false prophets? Who's the ones that are not the elect? It would be the world. The elect's sake are those of his people, the least of them, the few of them. So here we are at this point in time watching the fall of our enemies, and we're the false prophets. That's laughable. Go ahead, sis. I just had to
No,
say
but you see, I can bring all of that home with him shortening the time for the elect's sake,
that.
because the Spirit just gave it to me. If
Come
we're
on.
celebrating the calamities that's coming upon the wicked, then doesn't time fly when one is having fun?
Exactly.
Ah, yeah. See, the Spirit was like, Spirit, when
Yeah.
you said for the elect's sake, the time will be short, and the Spirit said, time flies when you're having fun. And I said, well, I'm
Oh,
having fun on May
right.
31st.
Right.
You see, time flies when you're having fun, which means I'm not celebrating the individual getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm celebrating the lands being cleansed of the wicked.
That's right. I'm celebrating the wicked getting up off the land and being destroyed because they've had too long, too many times to be here on the land, lying, cheating, and stealing. They got to go. So
Even yeah, even
my
if they're
celebration is
8-year-old
that.
black souls. I'm sorry.
Listen, listen. I'm not even interested in age. I'm talking about
No, I
spirit.
know, but I'm just saying because our people, we have a soft heart. And a
Sure.
soft heart creates a stiff neck.
Yes, it does.
Right. So
And a hurt
when we
ass.
see right, so when we see 8-year-olds being hurt,
No.
no, you cannot do that. You're going against the Most High, and He's going to zap you. Hopefully, it'll be a tiny zap.
Well,
Won't be a
that's
big.
what got us in this situation in the first place of not of having empathy for Canaan, empathy for all these other people, all our enemies, and then they sold us down the river, and
Right.
and we're the ones that got caught up in it when we
Right.
should have just had no empathy, no sympathy. Listen to the Most High. He told us what to do. We chose not to because we had a soft heart.
So all I'm saying is, for us to elevate to that level, we have to be the cheerleaders of the Most High. So in this alignment, Jupiter and Pluto, they're going to be in opposition during the summer. You're going to see a lot of shifting in the summer. And all of that is going to lead up to the blood moon.
Yep.
And fall will begin early, whether you wish to believe it or not. Don't believe me. Let's just bear it out and see what happens with the weather. But on August 28th, there will be a total solar eclipse. And that will be halfway through. Well, July is halfway through the total solar eclipse. That's going to create a shift. That shift is going to be complete. The shift that we're going through now, leading up to August 28th, is going to end, and a new shift will begin on August 28th, the night of the blood moon.
Right.
So these are the astrological events that's out there that 83 is tracking by the blue moon, the blood moon. They're tracking these moons. Why? Their new moon is the black moon. What are you tracking the full moon for?
Because it's the commencement of time. It ends,
Right.
it completes it. The cycle, the season of the heathen would be completed once the solar eclipse ends August 28th. It's a wrap.
And so the shift, there'll be a shift completed around that time, which means another shift will occur. So summer 2026, July and August will culminate in the blood moon. There's going to be the financial shift and the geopolitical shift. So those are the two shifts we're going to see. And so if we look at
That's right,
Luke,
Quantum. Go ahead. Would you say Baruch?
no, Luke,
Or Luke?
Luke chapter 12, verse 26.
And don't forget that the UV rays are out of control. They so
Mhm.
so I was inside, I'm inside and they got the AC blasted and I'm like my whole body's freezing. So I go outside into the middle of like the little courtyard area and me and my man brother man Brian and I say, okay, stop where the sun is, and the sun is hot, and it just warmed me up. It took about 5 minutes, but it completely warmed me up, and I was just shining. I was like, man, this is nice. But I'm watching everybody walk around the sun in the shade, and I'm like, the UV rays is dangerous for people out here if you're not connected. And even if some of the brothers are I see out there in the heat that and it ain't even really been hot like talking about, but some of the brothers, the homeless brothers, you can see that their melanin has been deep, like I won't say burn or singe, but they're dark. So they out in the streets, they're fine. These like that's why I'm just amazed at just how the earth is helping the woman. But go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
So during this time, we should have more of the attitude that Messiah had in Luke 12 and 26. And we could even say, go to 20, 24. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouses nor barns, so don't be storing up,
Mm-hmm.
and yet the Most High feed them. How much more are we, Yasharal, better than those fowls?
Mm-hmm.
So during this time, we are not to worry about storing stuff up. The Most High is going to take care of us. And seek not what you will eat nor drink, neither be doubtful of mind. So we know that you got to have a hard heart against wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
You have to harden your heart against wickedness so that even when you see the 8-year-olds being taken out, you've got to know that the Most High knows what he's doing and that more likely they would have done something wicked or tried to do something wicked to us. It's
Mm-hmm.
always about coming against us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to realize that. So right around May 31st, which is the blue moon, you should be getting internal clarity.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get that because you'll be starting the introspection. It should happen. It could happen right then and there. It could happen over a season of time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to have 2 micro moons. These are the ones that are way out and they look small. One was May 1st and the second one will be May 31st. And so these micro, the ones that are tiny, that's going inside, doing that introspection. So you want to do some introspection before your meal on the 31st. Okay? Now, Uranus and Mercury, they're going to also be busy, but they're going to be heading so they're during this period going into May 31st and before you get to August 28th, one of the things you want to ask yourself is, what are you holding on from your past? Do not go down the rabbit hole with it. Make a list and burn it and let it go. Now, me having studied abnormal psychology, the Jeffrey Dahmers and the Ted Bundys, and having studied that at the graduate level and understanding psychology, you do not let go of things by holding on to them, by allowing them to control your emotions in current time, by allowing it to trigger you. You have never let it go. If you're still being triggered, this is the period to get them triggers out, because stuff's going to get worse out there for them. And you need to be in a place where you're going to be, oh, what's that word, Ruach? Celebrate good times. Come on. And you can't do that if your mind is bogged down in the wicked being taken out and the way you see things being developed in the world. So it's a mental state that this introspection is to occur. Every word that is unaligned energetically has to be removed. Word meaning those triggers. People go, well, how do you remove them? You let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Pull your damn pants up and say, you know what? I'm tired of that word controlling me. So the next time you hear it, you just look at it like it's some annoying pest. It's going to get smaller and smaller. You can't ignore it. When you try to ignore something, it's still there. You just have to say, you know what? I'm done with it. Walk away. Walk away from any negative thought. The lies of 83 will definitely be exposed to the point where, you know, this may be the period. I'm not sure, but it may be the period where we see people going, surely our fathers have inherited lies. Because we haven't heard. We're looking for prophetic scripture. We're looking for prophetic actions in 83, the masses of 83 as a gauge as well. Our progress is a gauge. Our progress is our main gauge, but their destruction is another gauge. Their destruction have been foretold. And so prophetically speaking, when we see their destruction and we understand where it aligns with our prophecies, we are the better prognosticators. We are the true timeline. The eschatology lies with us. So this is going to be where their lies will be exposed. And many of those who are still kind of spiritually, mentally asleep, they're emotionally awake, but they're somewhat asleep somewhere, somehow, you know, because there's some out there that go, oh, Black people are the true Hebrews, but, you know, the indigenous Indian people. And you want to go, well, those pretender Indians are not real. So our identity is what will wake the masses up and is what will anger the masses.
Yep. At the same time.
Right. And the more we embrace our culture,
heritage,
right, the stronger we become and the weaker they become. That I know for a fact. So
that's right.
If anybody is experiencing any type of demonic attack, you're not properly under the law, statutes, and commandments to begin with. It wouldn't matter what calendar you're following. It wouldn't matter if you're keeping feast days, even if you're keeping Shabbat. If you're keeping those things and you're under attack, you may be new and you don't have an understanding of the law, statutes, and commandments. If you have a great understanding of the law, statutes, and commandments, and you're not in a brucka loop, then all I can tell you is I'm in a brucka loop on this calendar, and I'm not. And then the Spirit kept telling me, stay the course, stay the course. And like I said, when that song came on, don't you worry about a thing. And the second time I played it, I had more than $1,000 that day.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
And listen, it's, I mean,
where did the song come from? I woke up at 7. Where did the song was in my head when I woke up?
It was there because we are the testament. And that's what we have to start desiring, that of what we want. That's why we want our heritage. You know, we can't get stressed. Something pops up, let that go. There's no stress, because stress is what the heathens are under right now. And if you choose to be a heathen, then you choose stress.
Right. And so even when I said the simple action of when you're driving in your car, play good, you know, and my definition of good music is not the definition of everybody else's, but, you know, play good music that makes you bop your head. And when they see you dancing, they're confused.
Right.
They're like, aren't they feeling the pain? No, not really, because I'm not really feeling the pain. I'm over here sipping pomegranate wine.
Right, right.
And I'm having a good time with the Most High, getting rid of the wicked.
And I would suggest again, I think I said this before, like having some connection to the mishpachah and having conversations throughout the day when you're driving your car, when you're able to have conversations,
Yeah,
be in
if you're
communion
going to
with
visit and you got a
the mishpachah.
long drive,
Right,
call someone.
right,
Yeah,
right, right.
you know. So summer is basically it, and this is what the prognosticators are saying out there, but this is what the Enochian calendar has proven as well, that summer is going to end August 28th with that lunar, with the blood moon. There'll be an energetic release between May 18th and August 28th.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. I'm reading ahead of myself. When the blood moon arrives on August 28th, there'll be the energetic release is going to close. See? They know these portals are closing and opening. If something closes, the next day something has to open according to the book of Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yep.
not just, but they're not giving the full puzzle piece because they just want the masses to only know what they can tell so that they can continue their garbage satanic crap rituals, which I just, so, rationally speaking, I don't understand. If you know that the Most High created your ruler, Hasatan, whatever you want to call him, why are you fighting? Why are you fighting for the losing team?
They got no choice. What do you mean? Why are they fighting for the losing?
But I don't get that though.
Well,
See,
it's just that same question. That same question they were asking us. Why are you fighting for God? Where's your God?
yeah, but see, when our God was Jebus of the White, I got that question now.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we know that the Messiah is not God, and people need to stop calling the Messiah King of Kings, because you're pissing the Most High off and me. The Most High is our King. He's our leader. Messiah came in the flesh. The virgin birth is just a Hebrew woman popping out a son first as the first child. So every woman that popped out a son first as the firstborn gave a virgin birth. And these Romans gonna take it and demonize it and then tell you that the Holy Spirit is male and gave birth to the Savior. So yeah, leave all
They
of
want
that.
to spooky it up. They want to make it all spooky. Ooh, spooky. Right. Yep.
Now, during May 18th, basically, or today, up until our blood moon, August 28th, there are going to be lots of squares. So when these full moon comes around, you have to use words of precision. Your words have to be very precise, which again, I've always advised that when making your request, especially on May 31st, you want to use the Most High's words to him.
Right. You should already be doing that quietly.
Right. So you're going to have to look for all the scripture that says, I will return you to the land when you do X, Y, and Z. And then you can make that covenant and say, I'm doing X. I haven't started Z yet, and I'm going to get to this. But as soon as I do all of that, I'll get it. And then you have to be about doing it, because he gives stipulation that he will return us to the land when we do whatever. You've got to know those stipulations for yourself.
Yeah. And that's how great our Elohim is, and how great we are. That once we as a collective begin to realize collectively, if we want a thing and it's a righteous thing to want, we can obtain it. We've been under these heathens, these Canaanites and Canaanites for so long that everything that we've ever wanted collectively, one, it wasn't ever collective, but two, everything that we ever wanted was some sort of desire of this, or dainty of the heathen. But now, since we're being sanctified, now these things, these thought processes, these ways of seeing things and seeing each other is now coming back to fruition to where we're able to grow. That's what we said, we were saying earlier. This is brick by brick. We grow together. We can't grow individually. It's, this isn't Roly Poly Martin and them who's just trying to get paid individually. This is a growth, a collective growth to build the kingdom as well as the temple, as well as our own hearts. We have to rebuild. This is like Aaron was saying earlier, this is the transformation. A new man, a new woman, a new body. We have to work for it. Don't be a heathen and think that, oh, well, God's just going to make this. He's going to give me a new jacket and suit and a tie. No, don't think like that. This is how we work collectively. Then it comes. We are dawned, dawned, not the dawn, but dawned with the right vestiges. And that's the beauty of our day. When the heathens are in their dismay and they're falling away, we get to then be collective to get to our kingdom and usher in our kingdom for the elect's sake. But go ahead, sis.
No, I mean that's true. And for what it's worth, when we are writing our request from the scriptures, you're becoming a scribe.
Yes.
And we have to understand that all the things that was attributed to us, as we take them back, we have to, during this particular time of introspection, rewire our brain.
That's it. That's it right there.
You have to, number one, rewire it into the laws, statutes, and commandments first.
Mm-hmm.
Then your feast days are going to materialize stuff, whether you're on the right time clock or not. Why? Because the first feast day I kept, April 2005, I kept April 14th Passover. I asked the Most High for a place, and I got it in August during the Brucker Gate. Now I know August is the Brucker Gate, but I wasn't keeping it on the Enochian calendar because I didn't know that then. Mm-hmm. And so even for those who are not on the Enochian calendar, if you're trying to understand something, you'd go, well, before I do it, I want to understand it. The Most High gets things like that. That type of diligence he likes if you're going to take your time versus, well, let me jump on that bandwagon because she's on a Brucker Gate and I want a Brucker Gate. He's not going to honor that. Mm-mm. He's going to honor somebody who says, you know what? Let me look at her calendar. And in the meantime, I'll keep going the way I'm going. Okay. And then when you start to look at it, he's going to either, he should open your eyes to it, but he alone should do that. Mm-hmm. I should not be the one to convince you. The Brucker loop I'm in should not convince you of that. None of that should convince you. What really should convince you is this taking back my heritage? Is this part of, is this something that they took out from us? They have us following all these other stuff. And now that we've been kind of talking about and putting it in the ether about these full moons, all their astrological prognosticators are now clocking the next two major full moon events.
Yep. Hey, sis, tell the nation what gate we're in.
We are currently in the curse gate.
Yes.
And we are going.
Doesn't it retrograde next month as well?
Oh, the retrograde for Pluto is.
No. The gate doesn't that's in July, right? It retrogrades in July.
The gates don't retrograde. The planets retrograde.
Okay, not retrograde. They double. They go back.
The double curse gate.
Thank you. Yes.
Is May 31st, the night of the blue moon.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. The Most High's timing is perfect. Here's the deal. According to Enoch, if you want to know, there's 12 gates, 12 months, 12 gates. If you want to know what gate you're in, what gate the sun is rising in, you clock the full moon. The full moon is 30 day. Every 30 days you get a full moon. So you know that you're going into a new gate. When you see a full moon, you know a gate is closing and a new one is opening. The blue moon coming is opening the day of remembrance, which is a double curse gate. That's why Sunday, May 31st, the night of the blue moon, I'm doing my dinner so that way I can continue my Brucker gate and not feel the effects of the double curse gate. And when I say feel it, I don't mean physically. I mean spiritually, or the feeling. See, look, 83 wants you to deal with feelings, and the Most High wants you to deal with the spirit.
Right.
The spirit deals with truth. Feelings deal with what you think.
Yep. Thinking.
And our thoughts are not his thoughts, and his thoughts are far above ours. So we got to come out of the feelings because of what's coming on the earth. We got to come out of that feeling, oh, I don't feel good. And that's all a mental whatever. Okay. And we have to go toward the spiritual. That's why we have to identify Cain, Canaan, and Esau as, which is the Jebus, as spiritual enemies that have gotten 83 into a confederacy so that we would be remembered no more. And since it's not working, whatever they amp up to come against us is going to backfire against them.
Right. Big time. Big time. Because we're protected. It's the boomerang. It's the Carmageddon. Carmageddon is a pun.
I like that term too.
Carmageddon is here, and this is what they having problems with. They can't figure that out. They're like, well, it's a boomerang effect, and they're like, well, why isn't it affecting them? Because your boomerang is broke, is done. So yeah, this is on and popping right now. It is. Our sanctification has begun, and people don't understand what that looks like, but you can see it now. You can actually begin to see how nobody's really bothering us. We just are talking. You know, if you hadn't noticed, I had no problems. Well, I shouldn't even say it. I'll leave that alone.
Right. Okay. Okay. Because it was almost a rough start for you. All right.
It was. I'll leave that alone. That's right.
So let it go. But no, seriously, I mean, while they're running around and, everything's collapsing, it is, and all of that, the Most High, all he ever wanted was for us to go worship him. And so we have to, the more we enjoy the worshiping of him, the quicker he's going to get rid of them. Okay. So these are the things that we're looking for. Now, for your Days of Remembrance feast, May 31st, I find that it works. Whatever meal your grandparents or your parents really enjoyed, that you enjoyed them making, that is what you should make, as long as it's not slave food. You got to come out of the slave food. We have to brainwash ourselves to royalty. So like the 7 species of Hebrew, which talks about those foods that we should be eating and the finest cuts of meat, especially for the feast days. You don't have to eat meat all the time.
No,
but he wants that. But he wants it. And he wants you to enjoy it. And then if you can find, good red wine. I found a great Cabernet Sauvignon the other day. And then I found the pomegranate. And so I'm like, trying to figure out, how many of them I can buy a month. Not that I'm going to drink all of them in 1 month, but you don't know when these things are not going to be. So those are the things. Like I would get like maybe 3 or 4 bottles of wine. That's what I would call storing up something for a feast day. I'm damn sure, excuse my French, not going to go out and buy 100 pounds of bag of rice. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But if I can get pomegranate wine at $12.99 a bottle, you know, before the tariff hits, whatever tariff, because that wine should have been a lot more if it's coming from Armenia.
Mm-hmm.
So half of the stuff, you know, the gas price, all of that stuff. Listen, the Most High is trying to tell us something. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Now they're gearing up for their big Memorial Pagan weekend. See, they got a Memorial Day. We got 4 days of remembrance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Check that out. Yep.
Okay. And so the seasons are off, they're off, and we're on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
we have to, everybody out there has to start becoming their own expert in the Most High. And the only way you're going to do that is to do your research, to study. As brother Sly, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. I am here.
Right. And what is your favorite slogan? You got to study to what?
Show thyself approved.
Why? Why, brother Sly?
Beloved, you know I'm loquacious. I talk a lot, so you have to fill me in.
No, it's not a trick question. I don't have an answer for it. I'm asking you for your answer.
Can you ask the question again, please?
Why do we have to study to show ourselves approved?
To be found worthy. I'm gonna help my brother out.
There you go.
Well, that's obvious.
Right.
The obvious.
There's no wrong answer for to be loved by the Most High, to be cherished by. There's no wrong answer for that. To become wiser.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any answer you gave would have benefited all of us. So the fact of the matter is, like the prayer of Jabez, that's a prayer that could be used.
She did, Corey.
Huh?
I'm laughing with Corey. He said you pop quizzed.
No, I don't pop quiz like that. Anytime I ask a question, it's generally open-ended, Corey. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Any answer will do. I don't do close-ended. All right.
There you go. I like that.
But the prayer of Jabez, right? That's in oh my God. Hosea?
Let's see.
I'm not sure. And then there is the one about write the vision and make it plain. I think that's Hosea, right?
It's First Chronicles.
The prayer of Jabez, First Chronicles, right? Those are prayers that you can recite. That prayer asks the Most High to enlarge his territory.
Mm-hmm.
I've prayed that prayer.
Yeah.
And I've seen, and your territory is definitely your land because of terrain, but it can also be your career. That's your territory. That's your job. It can also be anything that the Most High deems as belonging to you. And for us, we're the ones that the promise is given to. And that's their main reason why they're pissed, because their blessings are over. They're in a curse loop. There's nothing they can do about it. They just released one of the NTSB report about one of the planes. And it showed that the literal engine just blew up and fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, mechanical failure. Let's see. In the 60s and 70s and early 80s, you had mainly black men working these mechanical jobs that was laborious, and you paid them little and nothing. And now you got white boys, and the Most High said, well, you know what? It ain't going to last that long. Because to me, regardless of whether it's mechanical failure or not, I always attribute it to the Most High. He's causing these things to happen. And I'm not being I'm not trying to be light about it. I'm being very heavy. He's causing these things to happen. And so when you see the planes blowing up and all, and the two planes that stuck together, and we know the ley lines are open, and all of this, it is time for us to step back, take a deep breath, relax, and try to know what gate you're in according to the book of Enoch. Because I just saw that, because now I'm on the screen. So according to the book of Enoch, the 12 months are really 12 portals in the celestial heaven. Portals are gates. Only the Most High can open a portal and close it. We have access to opening it through the Most High and our angels. Angels can't open it, but angels can also plead on behalf of us. Why? Because angels ask Enoch to plead on behalf of them. Angels ask angels to plead on behalf of them. We have our guardian angels. So when we're going through this earthly cycle of spring, summer, fall, and winter, you have the constellations going in one direction, and you got the sun and the moon going, doing their thing, rising in the east, setting in the west. Never the twain shall meet. Now that we're coming into the blue moon, which is Sunday the 31st, not this Sunday coming, but the last Sunday in May, we're going into a double curse gate. That's number one, why I'm doing my feast, my day of remembrance meal, Sunday 31st, because I want to be protected, one. And two, I have some specific things that I want to make requests on, and I'm going to do it that night. And then I'll probably do it again on the night of the blood moon, August 28th. So that should answer that much. You can go to the book of Enoch between chapters 72 and 79, and you will see how he describes the different gates or portals.
And this and this is the whole thing. I mean, you got to read, you got to study. It's fundamental. It really is. Like, if you're not even interested in your heritage, which that's what we're talking about, this is Yasharel's heritage, then you're going to be caught off guard and you're going to be with the heathens. It's just simple as that. And that's not being mean. Those are just facts. Because they're the ones that don't want to study. They're the ones that don't want to seek out a matter. They don't want to be reasonable about a matter. You know, they don't want to tell where they got stuff from. They just want to make it seem like it's theirs so that they can turn around and sell it and make some money. Those days are over. And
also the right division and make it plain. It's Habakkuk, right? I saw that. So Habakkuk. Mm-hmm. So basically, what I would suggest is that any of you in Yasharel that's had a real vision or a dream that appears to be a vision, and it has a positive high frequency for you, I would write that and read it on the night of the blue moon. Mm-hmm. And I would more likely also read it on the night of the blood moon.
Yeah, and you know they're gonna be on TikTok now. They're gonna be reading their dreams and stuff on TikTok.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know they're gonna talk about how if you read it on the night of the full moon,
right.
It's gonna energize and energetic and all of this. Because when I literally, when I said blue moon, I Googled it, and if you see how the prognosticators, they're now all over it. You got to understand, I've been doing research on the full moon from like 2018, and I could barely find stuff on it because you had to go to the witches section. Mm-hmm. Right now, what they were talking about, all the astrologers was, the black moon. Now the astrologers, all they're talking about is, these full moons. Why? Mm-hmm. And it's not even from last year. It's as recent as like a month ago.
I mean, but they did it to themselves, sis, because they're the ones that said, "Oh, astrology is evil." So nobody, again, caught off guard like a thief in the night.
And didn't think that we would be able to reclaim it
Right.
in service of the Most High.
Exactly.
They thought we were going to reclaim it on their pagan, Council
from
of
their
Nicaea.
perspective.
Right,
But
Council of
from their
Nicaea.
That's
Right.
right.
They thought we were going to do the Council of Nicaea 326 AD ish over their crap.
The Canaanite madness. That's right.
Right. They thought we were going to do it that way so that we would still, even though we woke up, our power would be limited. But now that our power is extending to the celestial realm, excuse my French, but they're shitting their britches.
Of course. It's a wrap. That's what we've been saying. Like, the whole thing has come to a fullness. The fullness of the heathen has come in. They didn't understand what that meant, and they even changed that. It was, the fullness of the Gentiles. No. It's the heathen. The Gentiles, the diaspora. And yes, the diaspora could ask for their land back. Yes, the diaspora could ask for their heritage back. I mean, yes, the Gentiles.
You can easily say the fullness of the heathens have come in. They're done.
Correct. They're done.
They can't. The Most High is not going to allow them to get any more heathenistic.
Exactly. They can't go. How low can you go? Death row? What a heathen know. That's the whole thing. It's done. Like I keep saying, like I don't see how. I've tried to rationalize how much more time that the empire of Cain has. Cain, they've done everything. There's nothing left for them to do. They've done everything to everybody, literally bodies. They've done it. They poked and prodded. They've done everything. They've said they've gone everywhere. Nothing has been off limits. And now what else is there for them to do? They can't come after us. So what else can they do? It's now turnabout has become fair play. So now there's nothing that they can do or say to change anything that's about to come on them, come their way. Nothing. And it's amazing.
And to show you that they lack wisdom, when I was listening to Big Judah the other day, he was playing John Leguizamo, right? And John Leguizamo says, well, Latinos are not Spaniards. Okay, listen. The word Latino, the root is Latin, which is Rome. Okay? Rome. Now, in Latin, it's gravitas. In Italy, it's grazie. In Spanish, it's gracias. It's the same word.
Right.
So you are a child of the conquistadors.
The colonizer.
What he tried to do was he tried to make himself out as part of the Afro-Latino community by including, which again, Brazil has one of the largest concentration of Negroes. Of it could be Judah. I don't know what tribe. It could be Judah because they're larger than us. But they're not. If they're awake, they're not. We don't have access to Brazil's social media pages.
Nope. They got to keep us separate because Brazil, if they knew that we know who they are, it would be complete wrap on both continents of Turtle Island. And them damn Argentinians, they will be overrun.
They'd be gone. They'd be gone. Now, I don't know for sure if they're larger than us because that information is coming from 83.
Right.
But I've heard Afro-Brazilians say they're hidden. And they're hidden by their government, and that may be for their protection.
It is. It is. The Father separated us so that there could be some in the south, some in the north. And some people go, oh, the south, the southern kingdom, northern kingdom. I mean, it's in your face on Turtle Island. But you can't talk to people about this because they too busy trying to get back to Africa. They trying to skip over, the common sense of it and go straight to Africa and
Right.
Europe in the three parts.
And if
It's
you
ridiculous.
understand that the Most High is looking down on the earth, so he sees us already being gathered unto him when we keep the Sabbath, the
Yep.
seventh day Sabbath, okay? Because
Yep.
there's some people that go by the moon. And that to me, again, that's kind of lunacy because the days change. And then,
No.
oh my God, today's the Sabbath. It's Wednesday.
Right.
Let me go out and go. No, that's not the Most High. Sabbath is rest. So why should I be? Oh my God, it's Sabbath. No, I know it's coming Friday. So Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, I handle my business and then I can prepare for that. So he's looking down, watching us keeping the 7-day Sabbath. And he's saying they're gathered onto me.
Right. And remember, I left you a voice audio, and I said shalom, first day of the week. So one of the separations is no longer to deal with these heathen names. When you have to,
Yes.
but to the mishpachah, you don't have to. So what does that sound like? What does that look like? So-called Sunday will be
the first day of the week. And I love that because he numbered the days. He didn't give it a name. He gave it numbers.
Yeah.
He said the first day I did this and the seventh day I rested.
That's right. And so he never said that they were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He never said that. He was like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So that's how we should really be dealing with it when we're talking to each other, or even just when we're just dealing with these days, because we've got to separate ourselves from everything that we ever learned, ever thought of, or ever received from the heathen. What is the biggest thing? And what is the biggest thing that we receive from them? The days. Think about that. The days of the weeks.
Even the names of the months, January named after Janus.
Janice, right? That's what I'm saying.
Where the months were numbered. The months are numbered, just like the days are numbered. It's the first month. He says in the first month on the 14th day, Passover. He numbers things. And so, and what he does is, and so what I noticed, the Most High has this pattern. He does change up his pattern for our attention. Are we truly paying attention? Are we learning it to learn it for him, or are we just reading it because it's right there and I got to read it? And then, okay, I'll keep my Sabbath on the seventh day and yada, yada, but we don't figure anything out. It's up to kings to search matters out. So that's why it's here a little, there a little. So he numbers things, and he gives these numbers because numbers create order.
That's that numbers are the order. They are the order. That's why the story is always numbered. The story is numbered. The narrative is out of sync. This is what they've been doing. They've been putting their foulness into the sequence of numbers, getting us all off. That's why even Brother Judah was saying, we spoke in hundreds, not tens, or not ones, not tens, ones. So, I mean, everything is about numbers. So if we go back to dealing with each other via numbers, then that makes sense, right? It makes much more sense. Just like 2520, 2520, 25th letter, and the 20th letter. Is that right? 2520. Let me just see.
So that's going to be Y.
Yes, it is right. 25.
And they, for what it's worth, they're really trying They're really trying to put out all these concerts for these older entertainers. Number one, they're not selling. They're being canceled because nobody has the money to pay $1,000 for a nosebleed seat and $10,000 to sit up front. Who's got that? Even wealthy people are like, no, I don't mean the elite rich. The elite rich are the ones that can do it, but these entertainers are forced to cancel because when we come out, when we come out of their Babylonian entertainment system, or should I say their Medo-Persian entertainment system, it goes into the ether, and then the masses become disinterested. And then, of course, the Most High makes it happen because they can't afford anything anymore.
Nope.
And this is part of the entire tipping point where, we were down, think of that seesaw. We were at the bottom. When we started to wake up, and then we leveled off with them. And now we're rising and they're going to hit bottom. But they haven't hit bottom yet, but they're definitely on the down. Okay. Is that what that means?
Yep. YT.
Well, that has, right. That, yeah, or YouTube.
No, it's not YouTube. It's white.
But why not? Don't they control it?
Exactly. No, all fair. Very true.
That's spiritual right there.
But the point that I was making on that is just to say and show that as we can use numbers even with our alphabet to communicate now with each other.
Correct.
Whereas they won't even understand it. And this is why we're starting to grow. We're growing, and that's how we began this. We're growing brick by brick. We're getting back to because you can only imagine back in the day when we were in our heyday, in our light, all the knowledge that we brought around, and they were like, "What are they talking about?" And we were just talking, and they were like, "Man, they're." And as soon as we were falling, they were taking it, and then they made it easy for them to understand. And then the stuff that was hard, they just made councils on it, debated it, and then made frats and orders to hold on to it and keep it hidden, because that's what Cain and Canaan were doing. So now we get to obtain our heritage. This is our heritage: the numbers, the numerologies, gematria. All these things are ours because when we get to using them, we enhance them as we do everything.
Right.
So for them,
we activate it through the Most High, and we don't have to do much. They have to perform a lot of rituals for their shadims, for the shadims to move in the spirit. The shadims are still controlled by the Most High, but the nation can look to the book of Job and see how the Most High allows the shadim to roam the earth. When it says Hasatan or Satan, I would substitute the word shadim right there.
Oh yeah, and that's what I keep.
And then that would give you an understanding of how the shadim can come before the Most High, and the Most High has to have demonic spirits taking out the wicked.
That's right. Because those same demonic spirits that were attacking us are no longer attacking us, but it's attacking the others. Everything. Once it's just like the blindness. The blindness just didn't go away. It goes to the other nations. With that blindness that Paul was talking about. Don't be ignorant of that blindness is of Israel until the fullness of the heathens come in. So that's how we know these are signs. This is how we know that they are in a fallen state because of that blindness. They're not able to cope with reality there. And we also know because of the delusion, and we also know because of the great stupor that comes upon them. So these are signs and wonders that we get to see that the rest of them don't get to, that the rest of the world don't get to see. Why? Because they're blind.
And we know that these strong delusions are coming from the Most High, because
Correct.
even with King Ahab, Jezebel's husband, Ahab is the Hebrew and Jezebel is pagan. And he says to the angels, he says, who's going to go to Ahab and bring him this delusional lie? And one of the spirits says, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
So that spirit goes out and gives Ahab this delusional lie, and then Ahab follows through. And of course, that's his downfall. So
Right.
the Most High is controlling everything. But our job, our main job, is to worship him. The Christians are going to tell you in truth and in spirit, but they don't even know what that means.
They don't understand that.
He said to worship him according to Exodus and Deuteronomy.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than just truth and spirit.
Right.
That's too dismissive. That's like, well, yeah, I called on his name, so I worshiped him in truth and in spirit. No, absolutely not. The contract, covenant, we have to fulfill our part. He will fulfill the other part. Under the covenant, we've got to relearn everything. Now that we're learning it and we're understanding the timing of these celestial events with the events going on in the earth in the last days of the wicked, because they left out the wicked part and just made us think it's just the last days and, oh my God, we're all going to die and they're going to push the button, like how they did the stupid picture of Trump pushing the button. Listen, if they had nuclear weapon, they would have tested it on us.
Right. They would have blown us up they would have blown up Africa. Period.
Right. So the thing is this, they test their weapons first, not against us, just test it, make sure it works. Then they bring it against us.
They do not have this. They do not have such power.
No, they don't.
That's just smoking guns to make everybody fear them. But now that we know that they ain't got the power, we know that Cain is Cain, Canaan, and Esau. The sword has been taken. They've been uncovered. That we know about their horned star, 5-pointed. There's nothing they can do. Like, that's what I keep saying. Like, it's nothing they can do. There's nothing else they can do. What else can they do? They said they've already gone to the moon. They can't go back. They just said that they just slingshotted around the moon, but they didn't go back. They can't even go into the deepest trench of the waters because they'll implode. What else can they? They've already blown up the lands. What else can they do? That's the whole thing. That's what people have to stop and really think about. What else can they do? And you're going to come to the realization that there is nothing else they can do. Their power is gone. Their power, matter of fact, was all in the propaganda of Ish. Now that we realize that Ish, which we realized before, we just didn't connect it. But now that we realize that Ish is the Levant, is Canaan, yeah, it's a wrap. There's nothing they can do. And the sooner, the faster we get to the 250th year, it is a wrap. Like, the 2026 is going to be the mental dysfunction of the heathen. 2027 is
going
the
to
physical.
be. So look, 2020. I just want to say this: 2027, the Enochian calendar is going to put all of Yasharel on itself, because, like I said, the full moon will be March 22nd, 2027. So for all of those that are on the equinox, which comes from 325 AD, Council of Nicaea, they'll be on our calendar as well. So that will be more people keeping the new year and the feast day on the same timing. So I would think that things would be amped up even more, much more. We don't know the level of amped upness that the Most High can do.
No.
And the heathens think, oh, it can't get any worse. You know, listen, the Make America Great Again, that's not a physical slogan. That's a spiritual slogan.
Right.
For 83, for the masses, not because they necessarily even want slavery. No, for the elite, it's to keep us under chattel slavery.
Right.
For the masses, they're thinking of the 1980s.
Right. Their nostalgia.
Right. Their nostalgia is the 80s and 90s. You can tell because it's all about Gen Z and Gen X. And, you know, they go back to, oh, those were the days and we were latchkey kids. And yeah, they're thinking about a time where in the 90s, you know, I was making big money and things were dirt cheap.
Yeah.
So you could save almost $20,000 a year. From the 70s to the 90s, houses in the 70s was $27,000. By the 90s, they were $270,000. So people's value increased, but even then, things were affordable. Right now, what white America is feeling is nothing new for Black America. So all of the Blassos are still kind of okay. They're like, well, and some are freaking out, some are flipping out, but the majority is Esau. And so they sense that their time is at hand, but they don't want to believe it.
Nope. No. They cannot believe it and stay stay in the position that they're in. They can't, they have to not believe it so that they could stay in a congressman, stay a senator, stay a Supreme Court, or whatever position, corporate CEO, because the moment that they realize, the moment that they start feeling like, oh shit, this is all a lie, they got to hand over everything. Everything has to go. They no longer own it. So this is the psychology of the heathen here at the end. Just mark our words and just keep a lookout and understand that the times of the heathen has come in, and the shame of Cain is what was hidden coming to light.
Exposed. Correct.
As the sun and the moonlight brings us our insight. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
The shame of Cain is being exposed. And, you know, for what it's worth, they're not, their whole thing basically is to just try to pretend that none of this is happening. And so they can blame, it's easy for them to blame the clown. It's easy for them to do that because then, you know, the next election, things will change. They're not understanding this is all spiritual. Things aren't going to change. It's not going to tip in their favor anymore. Once we now understand the spiritual level the fight is going to, which is their God, Cain, their spirit, Canaan, and their savior, Esau, white Jebus. Now everything goes to a different level for them in terms of the judgment as well.
That's right.
So we can start to monitor what's going to be happening to come. And I will be rejoicing. And for those that want to understand, you know, a Brucka gate or a Brucka loop, you can send me an email, romiblack@aol.com. Leave the 1111 off. Okay. And I'll send you something on it. But for the most part, you got to keep your feast days going because that's your protection. That's your covenant. That's your way of life, and you got to learn. You got to learn the Most High, and you got to learn your heritage. You got to get it back, because that's what's going to keep us protected and out of their realm, because we're going to be elevating, so we'll be looking down on them, but they're looking down on their calamity, so they're not looking up at us, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it is past my bedtime, and yet I feel like we could go further, but we must.
Well,
All
I
good
mean,
things
I can
must come to
always
it.
come back on. I'll look at the
Yeah,
astrological events, and then I can come back on, and we could finish.
yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's do that because it's a little late. It's getting later, and I got to get up and go to the
Got to go to
established
that plantation, right?
establishment. Um, but all praises to the Most High. Brother Sly, you want to take us out with something?
Yes, sir. We are going
Word?
to end with the letter of Clement 1, chapter 4. For so it is written, it came about that after some days, Cain brought an offering to the Most High from the fruits of the earth. And for his part, Abel brought from the firstborn of the sheep in their fat. And the Most High looked favorably upon Abel and his gifts, but paid no regard to Cain and his offerings. And Cain was extremely upset and became downcast. And the Most High said to Cain, why have you become so upset and downcast? If you brought the proper sacrifice, but did not exercise proper discernment, have you not sinned? Be calm. He will return to you, and you will rule over him. And Cain said to his brother Abel, let us go into the field. And it came about that when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and murdered him. You see, brothers, jealousy and envy brought about the murder of a brother. Because of jealousy, our father Jacob fled from the presence of Esau, his brother. Jealousy caused Joseph to be persecuted to the point of death and to enter into slavery. Jealousy forced Moses to flee from the presence of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, when he heard from his fellow countrymen, who made you an arbitrator or judge over us? Do you want to kill me as you killed the Egyptian yesterday? Because of jealousy, Aaron and Miriam had to stay outside of the camp. Jealousy brought Thatham and Abiram down into Sheol while still alive because they created a faction against the servant of the Most High, Moses. Because of jealousy, not only did David incur envy from foreigners, but he was even persecuted by Saul, the king of Israel. So at the end, during this awakening, there will be a lot of jealous haters of the Most High's people. So just be prepared for it. And that's Matthew 10:36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. So a lot of them will look like us, and they are not us. And since these are our lands, Turtle Island, the fourth part, that is our household. So these Pan Africans and everyone saying we're not the people, these are the foes on our own land, our household.
All praise to the Most High, Og. That was excellent.
All praises to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High.
Well, Mishpachah, we've come to the end of another fourth day meeting, and we show much love and much respect to you all. Thank you, Baruch Hashem, for being here and your support. Most High willing, we'll do it again on the fourth day of within the fourth day next time. I don't want to say week, but nevertheless, Sister Romy, Baruch Hashem for your wisdom. Baruch Hashem, Brother Slav for your wisdom. Baruch Hashem, Mishpachah for your wisdom and your time and your support.
Baruch Hashem, beloved nation. Baruch Hashem, Ahaya Ashar, Ahaya Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. Shalom.
Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Breaking about a beautiful world with no violence. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Breaking about a beautiful world with no violence. Yeah, all gold, everything. 5 big when the bell rang. Whole building power up like a cell, man. A million years still running like a Mustang. Yeah, it's a new day. Stained glass all red like a Tuesday. Stay on 83's head like a toupee. Magnetic, how the blessing pursue me. Excuse me, cause we coming through. All dressed like Thursday, so blue. Looking good, smelling good, feeling brand new. Like we ready for the king to make his debut. Coming near you. It's a party, y'all. Put your fellas in the air, gon' start it off. Ain't nobody scared of none of y'all. We give the praises to the Most High, set it off. Don't let it off. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Breaking about a beautiful world with no violence. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Breaking about a beautiful world with no violence.
The dark gods. As we talk about the word Elohim, the Elohims can be considered gods. Plural. Not singular, plural. So you're talking about different extraterrestrial entities.
All praises to the Most High. I and I keep a sharp sword and it's close by. Settle my debts, we don't mess with a cosign. Pattern my steps in the field for the landmines. Beat begging like a hand sign. Going back to Jacob's circle, that's a damn lie. Shit the vibe like a late line. And we'll light this place up like it's daytime. I got the message, be at peace, so I'm feeling cool. And I don't care about your yapping or your feeling fool. Cause we ain't never giving energy to any enemy that literally ain't for nothing but a footstool. You special down to the molecules. Got the magic manipulating your particles. And we do it for the saints with the arsenals. You can keep your Grammys, radio stations, and articles. Wow. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Breaking about a beautiful world with no violence. Got the sign to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Breaking about a beautiful world with no violence.
Some of these gods have been put over the other nations to lead them astray. We have been under the authority of the Most High. He didn't put other beings over us to lead us astray.
Power, got the science to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Power, got the science to crush giants. Power that can navigate clouds without pilots. Power to influence the crowd and start riots. Bring about a beautiful world with no violence. Power.
Whoa, 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 Almighty, 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 Creator, His blood inside me. We know that it works. Almighty, Almighty, Creator, His blood inside me. We know that it works. Who shall we fear? We got omnipotent, Almighty Father, the Father of Abraham, the Father of Isaac and Jacob, the Almighty. Why would we play with? He sent His Son for the nation, the covenant back in our faces. Y'all, He with us, don't care what we face. Where else we gon' go? We gon' trust in His word. Stay on that narrow, don't trust in no turns. Eyes to the east, everybody gon' learn. Put where your sins are, they all about to burn. Past overcoming, got their blood on me. Unforgiveness had to go, I got the love on me. I believe I got the peace, I got the dove on me. See the kingdom of y'all, I got above on me. Almighty, 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 Creator, His blood inside me. We know that it works. Scattered for many years, now we back. Mind been renewed from this world, we detached. The judgment is coming by His will, that's a slap. The wilderness is coming by His hand, that's a fact. The ark of the covenant, all but willing, that's a spot. Where He gon' get us? It was prophesied in the land you was sold by His blood, you gon' rise. Babylon falling, it all gon' go wrong. Keep them commandments, we tryna go home. Before you serve me, go serve Him on that throne. Walk as He walk, I'm a clone. Where He gon' get us? Keep commandments, He gon' fight for us. Hamashiach, He the light for us. Rhyme on, blow the right note. Almighty, Almighty, Creator, His blood inside me. We know that it works. Almighty, Almighty, Creator, His blood inside me. We know that it works. Almighty, Almighty, Creator, His blood inside me. We know that it works. Almighty.